Hello everyone, I'm Majestic Simmer. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be going over how to use Filmora in our multi-part series on becoming a Simtuber. This is probably a highly awaited video because Filmora has changed their layout, as you can all see, and it looks a lot similar to Adobe. So we're just kind of going to go through every little aspect of it and edit one of my videos that I have kept on the side specifically for this video so that you guys can learn how to use it. I want to put a disclaimer on this video that I do not know how to use every aspect of Filmora, but I'm going to try my best to give you the basics so you can start out and learn on your own. So let's get into it. You're going to have a couple folders here over on the side. Now you can create your own folders. You're just going to click on this little icon and a new one will pop up and you can name it. You right click on it and you can delete the folder. I have a couple here. My album is ones that I will export, and you're going to right click to export, and we'll do that in a minute. Backgrounds is something I keep for in between my scenes. If scene's not long enough, I will just grab this and pull it down. It's just nice to have the things over on the side here. For music, I have all of my music that I use in one folder, and then my sound effects, I will have a bunch of other ones. And then I make a folder called intros and outros. Now these are what I use for my LPs, as you can see, my Life of Brand and my Diner Girl, and just some musical clips I use for them, and then my intro. It's really nice to have these because you don't have to import them every time. And then these are just kind of basic ones that came with it, sample colors, sample videos. So the big change with Filmora 9, the newest version of Filmora, is that whenever you start a new project, all of these things that I just talked about, your music, your backgrounds, everything, will be gone. It'll be basically a new entire project every time, which is different from the old Filmora. I found a way around that. Once you get your folders the way that you want them and fill them with your music and your intros and everything, you can file, save your project as, and what I do is I save it as a blank starter with intro. That way, whenever I open this, it will always be the same. My intro will be loaded up in here. Everything will be the same. And then you just have to file, save your project as something different. So we will do that. We will go file, save project as, and this is going to be a 10-minute build challenge video because that's what's coming out next for my channel. And you're going to save it. Now, I save all of my projects on my external hard drive just because I don't want to bog down my computer. You can change that to wherever you would like. So now this is its own project with all of my things filtered in. So I can just pull my intro down, do whatever I need to do there. So up here, we're going to have a couple different sections, and one of them is audio, which you cannot use any audio from this program. It will always be flagged on YouTube. So just completely cancel this whole section out. Titles is the next one. Titles are going to be how you, how things come up, and you can click on these and it'll just show you what they look like without anything. Some of them are transparent. Like this one is transparent. The black would be whatever you put under it. And some of them aren't. Some of them are just completely white. And a tip is a lot of these you can use for your intro, and that'll be at a later date. We'll go over how to make your own intro. But there is a ton, and I also do a free, well not free, a $10 a month effects from the Filmora store. If you click on this little arrow, it'll bring you up to their store, and you can subscribe for $9.99 a month, and you get thousands of different transitions and texts, and I do that. So a lot of these you might not have. It is because I pay extra. There's some really cool ones. So you just click on them and it'll show them. And then transitions are something that are my favorite thing ever. You can look through all of these. They're what transition your clips from different scenes, and we'll go over that. And again, you can click on them and it will show you what they look like. It's just super user-friendly. The next one is effects. Now there's two different kinds. There's filters and overlays. So your filters are going to be what you put over your image to, like when you put an image on a filter, or when you put a filter on a picture, that's what a filter is in Filmora. And overlays are pretty much the same thing. Sometimes they do cool like effects though. They move and they're motion related. And then the last section is elements. Elements are going to be things that you can click on and move around on your screen. Sometimes they have motion, but mostly they're just like decal type things. I don't even know what this one is. Oh, that's cool. So these are also useful with making your intro and stuff, but there's tons of them. You might not have as many. I have obviously 2,902. So those are all of our things up top. You will come down here and you will see an undo button, a redo button, the trash can. We don't want to hit that. the slice button, and then I'm not sure what that button is, but we can find out when we import our footage. This is a marker. This is new. It's just basically like Adobe where you can add a place and then you can always click on that and it will take your cursor back. And that's another thing that Filmora changed is usually you could click on something and it would push this all the way back to the start. It does not anymore, so you have to double click in order for that to happen. And then we have some other options over here. This is a record a voiceover. I haven't tried that, but you're more than welcome to. And then we have audio mixer, zoom to fit to timeline, which just means it'll crunch your footage so it's all visible. Then you have your zoom in, zoom out. It's very helpful when you want to get closer to edit a chunk. You also have up here playback quality. I have mine at full because I like to see my footage in complete clarity. If you would like to change that down, if you're having some lag issues, you're more than welcome to do that. And then those two I do not touch. We have an image capture, which is nice if you're doing a machinima. It'll just transport an image to your whatever folder you're on. And then you can right click on that and go to reveal in Explorer. And it will pull it up in which folder. You can move it over however you would like, so you can use it. I do that a lot with my thumbnails. I will take a picture in my editor and then move it over to edit it as a thumbnail. Next is volume. You can change your volume. And the next one is a full screen. And then here's your time up here and your play button. You can pull it back so it'll go to the start of your clip. Those are basically all of the little bells and whistles of the basics of Filmora. Now down here, they added a lot more lines of video footage and music as well. I will make all of these as close to the music as I can because sometimes I forget there's music down there. So what you're gonna do is click on your top one and you hit shift, hold shift, and click on the bottom one, and then you can pull them down so that they're kind of all in by the music. So let's import our project. We're gonna go to my project, which this will fill up with all of your stuff, but it's everything that is in these folders, so you do not want to delete it. I don't understand why they did that, but we're gonna go to our folder, which is our Sims 4 record here, and we're gonna look for our footage. It's right here, and we're gonna click open. Now it's going to pop up a create proxy file. For faster editing performance, you can work with the smaller copies. When exporting, they'll render at their original full quality. I am just gonna say no, because it's not that big of a video. If it was a machinima or an hour of footage, I would definitely change that, but this is just a 13-minute video. Now you can click the plus sign or pull and drag it down. I like to drag it down because if you do hit the plus sign, it is going to put it wherever your cursor is, and sometimes I just don't like pulling it to the end of that. So we're going to drag this down as close to our music as we can, and we don't want to change it. And we're just going to let that load for a second. Sometimes Filmora is slow. I love it. I love to hate it is what I always say about Filmora. So here we have it in. Now we have our intro. I'm just gonna play it and I'm gonna hit this space bar. And we go right into our next clip. Now this is a face cam, so you're kind of getting a little version of me, but basically you're going to just, you know, cut your footage down however you want to. Now I'm going to have to take my mute speakers off because we do want to hear when we start speaking. There we go. So you're going to pull your cursor back and be looking like a dork. And we're going to cut it right there. So you're going to click on it and you want to see that blue outline around your footage. And I like to, at first I would use the split button, but I'm just going to do Control B because that's easiest for me. You're going to click on the other footage and hit delete. I hope everyone's still with me. And then you're going to pull this and drag it down. Now that's something else that Filmora changed. I don't know if there's a setting to change that where it automatically snaps down, but it does not snap down. So now we have to add a transition. So we're going to go up to our transitions and we're going to look and find one that is good. I usually just go with whatever I feel like, you know, you just have to kind of test them out and see what you think. maybe this one would be cool. So you put it on there and you can drag it from the corners to make it shorter or longer. That was a weird one. So we're just going to undo that and just keep looking, and I will be back with you when I find one. Okay guys, I'm back. I found one. So sometimes you have to mess with your footage because my llama was cutting into our thing. So we found one. And you can also add these to your favorites. Filmora was being derpy and deleted all of my favorites. So I don't have them, but you're just going to right click and you can add to favorites. And that will just add it to your favorites down here at the bottom where you can go and you'll just have them all of the time. So I sound so peppy. So basically what I do from here is I watch through, make sure nothing needs cuts, which it shouldn't because it's just a 10-minute build challenge. So I'm going to take our zoom down and we're going to pull this over. Oh, we are over. Okay. So we go to our end here. Now you might need to do more cuts and you can add transitions, and effects are the same way. You just pull them down. You just pull them down and then you can see them on your screen. And it's just kind of really cool. Filmora has a lot of stuff. You're just going to have to play with it, but now that you know how to drag and drop and etc. For titles, it's the same thing. It's a whole nother ball game. Let's add one here. Not the Chinese one because I don't speak Chinese, but say you wanted to add this one. Let's make them a little bigger so we can see them. And you just double click to add your text. So that's a whole nother thing, and you can go in advanced. I use advanced a lot, and you can change your color and just really play around with it. It's all up to you guys. If you want to add a PNG file, so like a clip art type thing, you're just going to click up here on add image and it'll take you to wherever you need to, and you can pull it around. Down here you can mess with when it starts and how long it takes to get to be on the screen. You can move them around. This is how I make my intros a lot of the time. So that is how you do that. You can save it as a preset, which is really nice if you're doing a lot of machinimas. So when I say the subscribe, I have to go up here to my media because I put in a special little animation. This is a green screen little tutorial, so we're gonna see where we started saying that. And this was something that was very useful to me because I was like, why it's green? Why would anyone want to use it? So you're gonna right click on it and go to green screen, and it automatically takes it away. I love my face. And then you're going to offset. You're gonna drag that all the way to 100 so it doesn't like have a weird thingy on it. And then you're gonna do tolerance. Tolerance probably is okay where it is. You're gonna hit okay, and then there you go. You can click on your screen. Make sure you have this selected with your blue, and then you can click on the edge and drag it wherever you would like. And I just put mine over here. You can download these types of things really anywhere. On YouTube, etc. And let's see what it looks like. Yeah, we're gonna move that down a little bit. Awesome. So from there, I'm gonna split it again and then delete the end of the footage because we don't want to see my awkward fumble jumble. And then I'm gonna go in and add my outro. Okay, so I have my llama and I'm just gonna slide this down. I do a 15 second ending because you will have your end credit animations that will add from the YouTube. From here, I add a transition between my end of footage and my end image. Now you can change this, like you can have it be whatever you want. If you do an LP, you can take an image from an LP that day. You can make like a thing that says, make sure you follow me on Twitter. One more thing that I like to do before we add music is to change the way that my picture quality, whatever it's called, looks like. What you're gonna do is go to color. You're gonna double click on your image and go to color. Now from color, you're gonna go to advanced. Now this is one of my favorite things to work with. If you use reshade, you probably don't need to do this, but I do not use reshade because it is heavy on my CPUs. So for here, you just kind of mess with the color. Now, there we go. Sometimes you have to push play to get it to show up. but you can change your color and exposure, and I just like to mess with it just a little bit to brighten. Obviously in Oasis Springs you don't really need to do that as much, but I will do that before I cut down my footage. You can also add that as a preset so you don't have to mess with your things, but you really can look up a lot of tutorials if you're looking for basic. If you're looking for more advanced things, there's so much. You can motionize your video, you know, your images and everything like that. If you click on your footage as well, you're going to see an audio thing. So if it's too loud, you can pull it down. Or you could also pull down from here as well, but we're going to leave it where it is. Sometimes I will pull it up to 6, usually. I want to go over one more thing that is very important if you do use music in your videos. You're going to go to one place that I did talk about in my very first video, and that is onlinevideoconverter.com. Now, this is going to be the place that you are going to look to find your YouTube videos. You're going to head over to YouTube and you're going to type in royalty-free music. Now, this is just one channel that you can get your free music from. You can go to playlists and have a lot of very cool music. It's just music that you wouldn't think would be cool because it's royalty free. But you are going to want to do this because it's under the Creative Commons license, and that is where you can use this music for free in your videos and not get copyright striked. You cannot use popular music. You cannot use music. You will get copyright striked. So this is what you'll do. And you can just click on any of these. We're going to go back to videos and let's just click on this one. So once you're on the website, you're going to go up here. You're going to copy your link. You're going to copy your whatever this is called. And you're going to go back to your online video converter. You're going to paste the link in here. Now it will have an ad that pops up and you'll just have to click out of that. You're going to paste your link there and you're going to make sure it's in MP3. That's going to take away the video and you're going to hit start. Sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't. If your music is copyrighted, it usually fails. So now you're going to be able to convert another one or your download. You're going to download and you're going to want to save as, and we're just going to save it in whatever file you want. You're going to save it in whatever folder you want. I always have a music folder, so you'll just save it and then you'll be able to use it in your video. And it is copyright free, guys. So you're not gonna get a strike. You're not gonna get a warning on your YouTube. You're gonna be able to use it. Next, we're gonna add our music. So I go to media and I have a ton of different music and I will use the same like basic silent one. I don't want the music to be super loud. Okay, I'm gonna pick this music and I'm just gonna drag it down, and you can have different music for your intro. I like to keep it the same. So what I will do is I will go here and click on our footage, and then I will split it, and then I will click on the beginning and I'll double click and we have our volume here. So the volume is probably okay here, but I'm just gonna fade it out a little bit. And then I'm gonna double click on this, and that's way too loud. So what I do is I'll push play and then adjust it until it's just barely audible. Okay, so that sounds about good. Usually I stay around the 25 to 30, the negative 25 to 30 range for background music, but you will have to play around with it. I watch all of my videos. After I import them to YouTube, I will go on my phone and listen to them to make sure all the volume, all the transitions kept, and all the sound is good. And that's just an extra effort that I put into my own channel. So if you do not want to do that, you do not have to, but sometimes the volume is a little louder on devices than it is in your ear with headphones or on your computer through speakers. Now that our project is saved, we're going to go up here to export and we're going to hit create video. You're going to want to make sure that all of your save to file place is correct. Mine is not, so we are going to save it to my finished folder, which is around here somewhere. Here's my finished folder. We're going to select that folder. Then you're going to want to title it whatever you would like. I'm going to call mine the 10-minute build challenge, and you're going to want to make sure you're on MP4. The next thing that you're going to want to do is go and look at your file size and your frame rate. You're always going to have to adjust this every video. It will not stick. So you're going to go to settings. Now for me personally, these are my settings. I do 60 frames per second and I do a 20,000 bit rate. And then for audio, I will make this 320 every single time. Those are my settings. And my sample rate stays the same because that is what my microphone is. You're going to have to check your own microphone and make sure that that is the same stereo. Everything stays like that. That is best quality settings. You're going to hit OK, and it will change your file size. That's still a very small file size, and you're going to hit export. So when you hit export, it's going to show you how much time is remaining. Sometimes it'll go fast, other times it won't. I'm going to cancel it because I do have a little bit more fine tuning behind the scenes to do on this video. So that is the last part of this video, and I think that you guys are all set to just do crazy things. You can look up YouTube videos on how to use the more advanced things if you want to do something that I did not cover in this video. But other than that, like, go run free llamas. Go have a good time with Filmora. I hope that I gave you the starting steps to using this program, and I just really look forward to the next part of the video, which will be to be announced because I cannot remember what is next, but you're on the right step to becoming a Simtuber. So I hope that this really helped. Filmora is a really great program to use. It's easy, but it's also advanced if you want to get down into the deep nitty-gritty of the things. Thank you guys so much for watching. I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. We're almost at 500 subscribers, and follow me on Twitter at majestic_simmer. And as always, I will catch you guys on the flip side.